free-to-play games and there are pay-to-win games. The question is, which one of those is Diablo Immortal? What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and today I'm here with my good friend Nemo.
Hello there.
Because we are going to break down what you guys want to know. The cash shop, purchases in Diablo Immortal. Is it pay to win, and what does this monetization strategy look like for this game? The cool thing that Nemo and I both did was we both put out a video on the cash shop. We both put out a video spending in the cash shop, and we both put out a video running Elder Rifts using legendary crests that we purchased with eternal orbs from the cash shop. So now it's our time to break it down and talk about if we think purchases in the shop are worth it or if it's a waste of your money. Nemo, how you doing, brother? Thanks for coming on today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Super excited to be here. I'm really pumped about this. I've been looking forward to talking about this for, well, since Diablo Immortal was announced. Really, everybody was talking about the whole cash shop and how it's all gonna work. And finally, we get to talk about it and run some numbers. I'm pretty pumped about this. Let's get going.
I am as well. Now, we're going to break this video down into 3 sections. Section number 1 is going to be, what does Diablo Immortal look like for free-to-play players? Someone that's going to spend no money inside of the game. What does Diablo Immortal look like for light spenders? Someone that may just go ahead and pick up the bundles or pick up the battle pass inside of the game. And then we're going to have, what does Diablo Immortal look like for those heavy spenders? People that are going to spend hundreds of dollars, maybe even hundreds of dollars per month inside of Diablo Immortal. So that's what we're going to get into. We're going to get started right now. So we've talked about so much on the channel what different events are inside of the game, what you could participate in. We're talking about Rifts, Heliquary, the campaign. We have Shadows versus Immortals, PvP, PvE. The question is, can you participate in everything to the fullest, Nemo, as a free-to-play player? And if not, what would you be missing out on? So fill us in.
That's a really good question, Echo. So can you participate at the highest of the highs as a free-to-play player?
Right.
That's a good question. And to be honest with you, I don't think you could in specific situations. Like the cycle of Strife, when the actual server is running and everybody is doing their thing, and it's not just NPCs, those spots are really limited, and they're most likely going to be filled by the highest powered players, and those players are most likely going to be, spending some money in the game to try to get a boost ahead of all the rest of the players. So it's going to be really difficult for the free-to-play players to keep spots, let's say, like to be an immortal. I think that would be almost impossible, in my opinion.
Oh, I agree as well. So to be an immortal, you have to be one of the best in your server of tens of thousands of people. You're not going to be able to compete, in my opinion, at that highest of levels if you're 100% free to play. You're just not going to have the opportunity to get your gear and your gems and all of those upgrades to where they need to be as free to play, because you're not going to be able to buy the eternal orbs, which are then gonna have you run legendary Elder Rifts to get legendary gems, and then more legendary gems to upgrade. So a lot of this actually comes down to these legendary crests, so you can get legendary gems to upgrade your legendary gems to really strengthen your legendary gems. But can you still play the game, Nemo, 100% free to play and really get an enjoyable gameplay experience, even though you can't participate in every single thing the game has to offer at the highest level?
That's a good question as well. I guess it all depends on what type of gameplay you're interested in. If you're one of those players that's looking for the highest ranks, is looking for the best, to be the best in PvP, is looking for maybe to climb the ladder on the challenge rifts, right, and hold some of those top positions, those are going to be really tough. So that you won't be able to do. But at the same time, you will be able to enjoy and experience the rest of the game, most of the game, I would say. Maybe in the cycle of Strife, like there's specific activities, right? Like we're talking the Rite of Exile, those end game PvP modes, I believe those you won't be able to get into. But even a Rift or a Challenge Rift, you can still play it. You just not going to be able to compete at the highest levels and hold those leaderboard spots like most players want to do.
Beautiful. You broke it down perfectly. You'll be able to participate in most, but you won't be able to compete at the highest level in most if you're 100% free to play. Thank you, Nemo. Let's move on now to the light spender. So let me start by defining what a light spender is. In my opinion, a light spender is someone that's going to pick up the packs that become available that are big discounts. So right now on the screen, you guys can see Destructions, and I just got to that dungeon, completed it. I get the opportunity to buy this chest, which has a bunch of great stuff inside of it. Really good deal. As you can see, 390% extra value. Also, a light spender would probably be picking up the battle pass and also maybe the boon of plenty. So what we're looking at right here is $5 a month for the boon of plenty, $5 a month for the battle pass. And if you want to buy those bundles, they range. I mean, the ones that I've seen so far were 99 cents, $1.99, now $4.99, and I know that they're going to go higher than that as well. The best deals, in my opinion, are going to be these chests that pop up, as well as the battle pass. The boon of plenty, it's not as exciting. You get some eternal orbs, you get a rare crest every day, but those rare crests do give you the chance of unlocking a legendary gem, and we've decided that a legendary gem costs about $2.25 if you break it down by the purchasing of the eternal orbs for a crest turning into a gem. So really, value is there for this. It's just not as exciting because you're getting those rare crests. But I want to know from you, Nemo, what will a gameplay experience look like for someone that's a light spender, spending $15 a month inside of Diablo, or even just spending $5 a month, just deciding to grab that battle pass, and that's it, wanting nothing more than the battle pass. Can people at this level compete with some of the higher level people spending more money, or is it really not worth it? Are they going to be in a similar position as the free-to-play players? Because, you know, we're looking at the battle pass right now. You definitely get some gems, you get some crests, but you're not getting everything that the game has to offer.
That's a really good one as well. So if you are a kind of person that spends some money, now the boon also gives you a storage spot. Did you know that? Like, it gives you an extra storage stash, which I love. Like,
that's a convenience feature. That's a convenience feature inside of the game. So it doesn't have anything to do with power, but convenience, of course.
That's true. That's true. It makes my life a little bit easier. I like hoarding legendaries. But all right, so what can one of those players do? Well, you're going to be able to do significantly more because of the battle pass specifically. You know, the rare crests and all that good stuff with the boon, that's a good deal. And those treasure troves, they're fantastic. Honestly, probably the best deals in the game. We'll talk about those in a second. But the battle pass is going to give you the major boost that you need, because it's going to, one, give you the legendary gems. Two, is going to give you Scoria. Scoria is really important. Now with this change between the alpha and the beta, they took the Scoria and they changed a lot, and they moved it to the paid version of the battle pass. Gives you 5 Scoria every so often, and that directly affects how fast you can upgrade your Reliquary, which is the PvE version of the game, which affects everything else, and specifically your offensive defensive ratings. So long story short, this will allow you to get to the Reliquary faster, it'll allow you to upgrade it faster, get you more offensive defensive ratings. Battle Pass also has those aspirant keys. When you get to the legacy of the Haradrim, you're able to open specific chests, which also boost specific stats on your gear. I don't want to go too crazy into it, but you'll be able to boost your armor penetration and a bunch of other stuff that you're going to need to compete on the higher levels with those keys in the legacy of the Haradrim. Long story short, the battle pass gives you a lot of value. It's not just the legendary gems, which of course give you a boost as well, but it's those other things, the end game systems, that if you are a free-to-play player, you'll basically it would be extremely difficult for you to compete. At this point, if you pay for the battle pass, it does give you a big boost. And I feel like at that point, there's a good chance that you could compete maybe at the challenge rifts, and specifically at the cycle of strife events and stuff like that.
All right, awesome. So it's also worth noting, this is something I learned. Now keep in mind, this is the closed beta. This is all testing, Nemo, and changes can be made. If everyone testing has complaints about the monetization,
Wait a minute,
look at this dude,
or doesn't love it or hates it, we could give the feedback to Blizzard and tweaks and changes can be made. Changes have been made throughout the alphas and most likely after the beta as well. So this is not global yet as we're discussing it. So it's worth noting. Now, it could very possibly be just like this at global, or there could be changes to it. We don't yet know, but it's worth noting if you unlock legendary crests or legendary gems on the battle pass. Those are only available for one of your characters. Everything else in the battle pass, you're able to claim on all of your accounts, up to 5 accounts that you create in the game. So if I have a demon hunter, if I have a necromancer, a barbarian, a wizard, and a monk, I can collect everything from one purchased battle pass on all of those accounts except for the legendary gems and the legendary crests, I believe. So that's something that we weren't expecting. I hope that that changes, but as of right now, that's how it sits. But Nemo says, if you are a light spender, you're going to be able to engage and participate in, on a higher level, a lot of things inside of the game, which is going to bring us to the heavy spenders, people that are not only going to buy the battle pass, not only buy these great deals, but spend a lot of money on the eternal orbs. They're going to be spending a bunch of orbs on platinum. They're going to be picking up every bundle inside of the game. They're going to miss nothing. They're going to get all of the reforged stones. They're going to go crazy on legendary crests, buying hundreds of them. Mind you, each one costs approximately $2.25. Essentially, they're going to buy everything that the game has to offer. Whenever deals come, they're going to pick up every single one of them. These are heavy spenders, and if they're really heavy spenders, they're also known as whales inside of the game. Diablo Immortal is going to have whales. And before we get into this heavy spender portion, we are, at the end of this video, going to let you know if we think that Diablo Immortal has pay-to-win elements. So stick around for that. All right, Nemo, so I'm kicking it off to you right now. Heavy spenders, people that have maybe not unlimited, but a lot of money that they're willing to spend on Diablo Immortal. How are they going to impact the free-to-play players, the light spenders, and progressing through the end game elements of Diablo Immortal?
In my opinion, if we're talking about the players who have almost unlimited funds or spend a lot of money and do the grinding, they're going to be impossible to touch. It's going to be absolutely, you'll never be able to get to them in any way, shape, or form. They're going to hold any of the top spots they want. They're going to hold the top challenge rifts. They're definitely going to be doing all of the first clears of everything, including the Heliquary bosses. And they're probably going to hold all of the top PvP spots, because remember, gems nowadays aren't just doing what they did before. They directly now boost your offensive defensive rating, and the offensive defensive rating basically affects the way you interact with enemies in the world in Diablo Immortal. Your offensive rating is a measurement of how hard you hit, and your defensive rating is a measurement of how hard you can get hit when you're out there. This is versus monsters or other players. So if my offensive rating is 600 and the monster's defensive rating is a little bit higher, when I hit them, they're not going to feel it as much. And if it's the other way around, when the monster hits me, I'm definitely going to feel it. In fact, a lot of the times if you're running around the world, you'll see like a little red thing on the bottom and it says monsters difficulty is really high in this level. It's basically what it is. It's using your offensive defensive rating, which is 2 numbers, one's offensive, one's defensive, and comparing that to the rest of the world out there as you're doing stuff. When you're going out in the Heliquary and you're going to kill LaSalle and he one-shots you when you get in there, that's because his offensive defensive rating is a lot higher than yours. And the way you can increase it, there's a lot of different ways. One of them is by increasing your Heliquary, by doing a bunch of other stuff, and now by upgrading your gems to higher and higher levels. And it's going to take a long time for someone to be able to catch up to that in any way, shape, or form. And because of that, I really do feel like those types of players, besides just being able to buy Scoria now, be on the battle pass, the unlimited gems, or just being able to buy as many as you want and boost them to the highest levels, especially with the 5-star gems, because they also boost your base attributes and your offensive defensive rating on top of giving you all of the extra abilities that you normally get, is a little bit of a game changer, specifically in like PvP, for example. If you have a high level 5-star gem like the Phoenix of the Ashes, it literally brings you back from life if you die. Someone who does not have that and doesn't have enough resources to be able to go out there and put in a bunch of crests into the machine until it brings you that Phoenix of the Ashes gem is not going to be able to keep up. So that's kind of how that works, in my opinion.
So you're saying that the people that are going to be the first ones to do clears and really be the number ones are the ones that are going to pay to get there first. They may not be the best players, but they got in position to get those top spots before everyone else because they were able to pay their way to get there first. Is that correct?
In the current state, the way beta is right now, with the treasure troves, with the scoria being sold, with all of that, yeah.
Okay, got you. All right, Nemo, so let's say that I'm building up my Necromancer. By the way, I'm loving the Necromancer. I don't know if you are, but I totally am loving the Necro. If I decide to spend on my Necromancer, not only the Battle Pass, not only the Boon of Plenty, but also spending some money on the game. This only is for that character class. The gems that I upgrade there, the gems that I unlock there are only for that character. Months down the line, I'm getting tired of playing as the Necromancer. I really want to jump into a Barbarian. I can't take any of my progress in the current state from my Necromancer and put it into another one of my classes, which is an issue for a few reasons. One, I'm not going to want to spend a ton of money on all of my classes. Two, what happens when a brand new class comes out that I fall in love with and I want to play and I love it more than my Necromancer? But I spent $500-600 on my Necromancer class just unlocking gems, upgrading over 6 months or a year's time. What do I do when there's another class I'd rather play? Am I stuck playing the Necro because that's where I made my investments? As of right now, there's no way to transfer my character stats and gems and all of that to a new character. Maybe in the future, they can make some type of a transfer fee so you could take it from one to the other, which would be probably a great feature. But what do you think of that, Nemo? Because, I mean, we love a class, but we also like playing class diversity.
That's a major concern, and you hit the nail right on the spot. There's a few, I feel like that's going to gate me from new content. Because I'm not going to be playing another class. If I play my wizard and I spend all this stuff and I get some of those 5-star gems and I actually start upgrading them to the higher levels, that's a lot of commitment, time, money. And if there's no transfer, I'm not even going to try another class. And it's just a shame because I definitely want to.
I mean, there are some simple fixes to this. Like, I understand Blizzard needs to make money. This is a free-to-play game. Anyone can download it for free. They need to incentivize people at least buying the Battle Pass or some cosmetics or something so that they could support the development and continued progression of Diablo Immortal. But there needs to be a balance. So I would love to see a feature where even if I have to spend 25, 50 bucks to take all of the goods from my class, make the commitment to move them from that class to a brand new class that I want to try and play. Even if I have to get that new class to max level before I could do the transfer, I would think that's fair. Because let's say you spend $1,000 on your primary class and you decide you want to take that to a new class, you're stuck. You have to buy all of that again on a new class. So paying a transfer fee of $50, although it sounds really expensive, it's a heck of a lot better than having to spend all of that money again, or maybe more, because the gem drops aren't the same, or things just don't work out the same way that they have before. So lots of things to think about here, but it brings us to that final question, Nemo. Is Diablo Immortal a game that could be considered pay to win, or does it have pay to win elements? Now, I will start out here and say that I think in the current state of the game, a free-to-play player can hop in and casually play the game for a very long time and really enjoy it. Campaign, rifts, even eventually getting to Heliquary type things and other events inside of the game, PvP, PvE, they can enjoy all of it if they're not stuck on competing. I would always recommend, and I do in all mobile games that I play, that the battle passes, things like that, are a great value. For $5, you get a lot more than $5 worth of stuff. Plus, at the same time, you're kind of supporting a developer. So that's cool as well. But Nemo, the question is here. It's time for you to answer. Is Diablo Immortal, in the current state right now, will it be a pay-to-win game?
The simple answer is yes. Because as soon as you buy power in the game, and you're able to buy it unlimited amounts, and you're able to push yourself higher just because of that, it's pay to win. And before, when it was an alpha, I felt it was a little bit different, but there's specific additions or changes to this round of beta when it comes to this specific monetization system where it pushed me over. So yeah, in this current state, I do feel like it's pay to win. Now, who is going to care at this point? Who is going to affect? Like you said, the casual players, which is probably I would say a lot of the base of the people that are going to play Diablo Immortal is probably most of the folks, right? They're not going to care. They're not going to play. They're not, they're not even going to know what gem resonance is. They're just going to play the game and want to have fun, They won't care. But the people who are doing the grinding, the people who are going to be pushing the leaderboards, to them, leaderboards is almost like integrity, If you can just get there by paying, then it almost invalidates the whole push. And the people who are doing the grinding, who are pushing all that stuff, that really matters to them. So it's going to affect those types of folks. And yeah, people like that. And maybe somebody at the Cycle of Strife, all of the high-end players, they're going to have to pay for power. That's just how it works in this system.
And it's not paying directly for power, but it's paying for things that you have to put into a process to play to get that power. So that's kind of how the system has been put together. Now, for me personally, challenge rifts, I could care less if I am ever on the top of those leaderboards. It's just me as a player. I don't care. I would care much more about going into some, ranked PvP matches in a matchmaking system and coming out with a few wins in a day, but that's me as a player. And you're right, Nemo, most players, I'd say 90% plus, aren't even gonna know about a lot of this stuff. They're not gonna understand how it works. They're never gonna get to the immortal status, and they're just gonna enjoy this game for finding new gear, upgrading new gear slowly over time, going in the world and unlocking a legendary piece of armor. That's going to be awesome for the majority of people. And I think that Diablo Immortal still does all of that really well. But as Nemo said, and I would have to agree, I mean, if you can progress to higher levels from paying in a game, it's considered pay to win in other games on mobile or even on PC and console. And Diablo Immortal in the current state right now does have those features in place. Will they be there when the game releases? We don't yet know, but as of right now, as it sits, they are there. Does that mean that a free-to-play player can't enjoy, or that a light spender can't enjoy the game? Not at all. But it does mean that those players are most likely not going to be able to reach the highest of levels, and that's just how it is. All right, Nemo, thank you so much for coming to the channel today and being honest with the community. This is a topic that so many people really wanted to know the truth about, and I think that we did a nice job of really showing what Diablo Immortal's monetization system is all about right now. Now, I know that you just today put out a deep dive into this topic. Why don't you tell us about that on your channel?
Yeah, that was actually a 4-part series, and this last part is a long one. It really is, like, it's over 30 minutes long, where I talk about all of my experiences. I did some testing, lots of formulas, and do like a really deep dive into monetization. Like, if you really wanted to know everything about what's going on right now, check it out on my channel. The video should be out now.
Yep, and I'll be linking his channel down below. And for some reason, if I forget, the channel is Scrappy Academy on YouTube, where Nemo covers Diablo Immortal exclusively. Make sure you go check out his channel and subscribe. But not only that, he also put out the video introducing the cash shop, spending in the cash shop, running the Elder Rifts, and then that deep dive into monetization, kind of just like we did right here, right now, which is kind of awesome. In addition to that, Nemo and I are going to be live tomorrow with the Immortal podcast, and I can guarantee you that monetization will be a big topic of discussion. And remember, on the Immortal podcast, you guys get your questions answered, because in the live chat, we take your questions and we answer them as best as we possibly can. That's going to be right here on this channel, as well as on Twitch. I hope to see you guys there. But Nemo, we're out for today, man. Thanks for coming through.
Anytime, man. It's always a pleasure being here.
Pleasure having you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. And if you like what you see over on Nemo's channel as well, drop him a sub as well. Show the man some support. But we're out. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for sticking around until the end. And be good.